Have you ever felt like you're giving it your all, but success still seems out of reach? What if trying is actually holding you back instead of helping you move forward? Why do some people succeed while others stay stuck in the cycle of trying? I believe this video will help you if you apply the information, because this decides this the answers to those questions really decides whether or not one succeeds or fails, whether one becomes a winner or simply a wishful thinker. So let's go ahead and go over some steps. This is not going to be a long video. I might come back and do a longer version of it, but for this one, I think you'll get the point. So let's stop trying and let's start succeeding. How do we do that? First of all, the problem with trying is, and this is why it keeps you stuck, trying gives you an escape clause. It allows failure to be an option. You know, over the years, that's one of the things I've learned from my father. He talks about that, trying is an excuse for us not to succeed or not to give things up. That's not an exact quote, but that's basically the premise of it. Is when you say, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, and I'm talking about things that are within your control. Saying I'm trying to reach out to someone and they're not responding to you, that's not your fault, okay? For example, they may be busy, may have not got your message, whatever the case may be. But this type of trying we're talking about here has to do with one's effort. If you want something in your life, you have to do something different in your life than you've been doing. It's a challenge. I will admit that to you. Starting these videos, starting my coaching program, and some other things I'm working on. I would like it to be easier. It seems like it should be easier at times, but it's not. None of this is easy. It's easier to do it once you get started. But when you're deliberating in your mind or you thinking about it and you laying in your bed comfortable saying that, I need to get up and do a video, for example, and your body's saying one thing, but your mind's saying the other, sometimes you want to go with those feelings, or oftentimes you want to go with those feelings. But the question to yourself is, am I being purposeful? Am I being intentional? Am I supposed to do this? Have I made a commitment? I have a commitment to other people. Why am I just laying here? There are times for rest and relaxation, rejuvenation. But then there are times when we must be busy and busy being productive. Not just busy, but busy being productive according to our purpose, according to the things we say we want to be, to do, and to have. So try gives you an escape clause. It allows failure to be an option. That's your choice. Language shapes our results by saying this: I'll try versus I will. Here's an example of that. I'll try to start a business. I'll try to find my significant other, versus I will start a business. And not just start a business, I will be successful at starting a business. Even if that business eventually fails, for example, with your intentions being set on succeeding rather than trying or trying not to fail, the likelihood of you learning from that and moving on to the next project is high compared to if you allow that to be a setback instead of a set up. I will try to meet someone, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to make more money. That mentality does not inspire the right type of action. That mindset, and everything's about mindset. My one of my mentors had put on a 40-day mindset transformation or mind shift transformation exercise, a journey that he invited us on, and we had a choice whether or not we would take it, and I took it. And I'm retaking it even now. I'm gonna retake it again on my personal time. We did it as a group, and then I decided that I was going to, because I believe in the process. I believe in my coach, mentor, and what he is teaching us. I decided I was going to do it again. Why? Because I didn't arrive to where I am by accident. And it didn't happen in 5 minutes or even in 5 years. It took time. And so I have to unlearn and untrain myself from some things that have not been conducive to the success that I want. The person that I am, the things that I want to do, and the lifestyle that I want to have. I had to decide that. So we must be careful in the words that we use. I will get up and do this, this, and that. I will get up and take out the trash. I will get up early enough so I can get to work on time. I will manage my money better. So I have, that's one of the ways that have more money is by managing the money you already have. In other words, learn how to keep the money you have and then grow it. Because if you grow your money and you are still the same, that is, you're a waster or you're just a spender, you feel like you got to have the newest thing all of the time, you're not a splurger. You're someone who spends all the time. You're a natural spender, not a splurger, but a natural spender. That's a problem. So the more money you have, the more you spend. So you be the change that you want first. Yes, it may take longer than you want. Yes, you may have to make decisions that you don't want to make, but are they necessary? You say you want to get from A to Z, right? Z looks like this, right? Become the person that Z looks like so that you can have Z's lifestyle. You know, in the scriptures, there's a man by the name of Peter. He's a fisherman, one of Jesus' disciples, original disciples, and he saw Jesus walking on the water, and he said, Lord, if it is you, he wanted confirmation. He said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to do something that I normally can't do, that you can do. I'm your disciple, I'm your student, so if you can do it, then you can teach me to do it. So if it is you, Jesus, tell me to come on out on the water. Well, God is not a liar. God the Father is not a liar. God the Son is not a liar. And God the Holy Spirit is not a liar. So Jesus said, well, I'm paraphrasing, he put me in the corner. I'm not going to say no because I want to kill his faith. But the way he framed his question only leaves really one good answer, one of the best answers. He said, come. So Jesus confirmed that that was him. Then Peter had to step out on the water. Peter didn't try to step out on the water. Peter simply did it. Peter didn't go on a 3-day fast. Peter didn't have 20 confessions. And Peter didn't sit there and beg and plead with the Lord. Lord, really, if it's you, I mean, really. You know what, on second thought, Lord, why don't you come over here and get in the boat? No. Peter thought outside the boat. He thought outside his normal self. Peter thought outside the boat. Ended up out there with Jesus. Yes, he failed to meet Jesus all the way, but at least he got out. The other 11 stayed in the boat. Some of you are very comfortable staying uncomfortable, and you feel good because the majority of you, the minority, was out there on the water, and then you had a minority thinking person in this case wanting to get out there on the water to step away from the majority of the group, and they felt safer. I'd rather be safe I would rather be with Jesus. Again, I know it's not a preaching video. I'd rather be with Jesus because where Jesus is, that's where safety is. They felt safer in the boat. So you may know people in your life who feel safer on their job, who feel safer in that relationship that's not beneficial to them, who feel safer in the environment with people who are negative. And as they're familiar with it, and because they're familiar with it, or they don't want to lose their friends, who don't want to be more or do more, or maybe it's just time for the relationship to transition. They may be safe. They may feel safe. Once you begin to launch out, don't try. Once you begin to change your friendships, don't try. Do it. You know, Nike has a saying, their slogan is, just do it. That's they to become your motto. When it comes to the right things, just do it. Here's another key takeaway here. Trying keeps you in hesitation mode while success requires commitment. Yes, it does. Success requires commitment, ladies and gentlemen. What you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have all requires you to be committed. You must be clear on it, be intentional, and then commit yourself to it. And when you make mistakes along the way, learn from them. Learn from them and grow. I learn from them. That's more I want to say. Maybe that's to give another video because I said this one's going to be a long one. I believe y'all are getting the point. Don't be focused on trying to do anything. Do it. Let's go to step number 2, point number 2. Shift from trying to train. So what we need to start doing if you really want to be successful, now you decide to prepare for success. So success isn't about effort alone. Success is about skill, it's about strategy, and it's about consistency. I have another channel, YouTube channel, and it's more focused on relative news matters, news issues, and I've been up and down with it lately. And I officially get back on the bandwagon. I said, why did I start this? Because I want to make an impact. There's a lot of negative news with a lot of negative commentary. I want to be one of the ones who I'm gonna address some of that negative stuff, but I also want to hopefully provide encouragement. My goal is to provide encouragement, inspiration, a different view of seeing, a different perspective of seeing how those real life events. Maybe provide just a different perspective, a better perspective than some people actually hold. Maybe they'll listen, maybe they won't. But I want to be a positive voice on those airwaves. So again, success isn't about effort alone. Stop being so focused on how much you're doing. You're not working as hard as so and so and this and that, or you need to work harder, put your nose to the grindstone and be a hustler. Look at nature. Show me where nature is trying to be natural. A tree is not trying to be a tree. A bird is not trying to be a bird. A fish is not trying to be a fish. A plant is not trying to be a fish. They just simply are. And they do what they are. And therefore they have what they are. If they're not interfered with, they have what they are. So be successful. Be a successful person minded here. Be successful. Then do those things to help you become successful. And do you have those things that you desire that successful people, or what you consider success, will have? There's power in disciplined action. Like an athlete that trains to win, not to try. We have a lot of champions in the sports world, in the sports world. We have a lot of people. First of all, I call them winners, just simply making it to the professional level. That's step number one. Once they've graduated past high school, graduated past college, then those who become champions in the sport, the pinnacle of their sports. And I'm talking about these are contributors right now. There are winners within a team, within the organization, all that. I get that. But I'm talking about people, the athletes, the people who are out there who are a part of making it happen, so to speak. They're doing their part. They're not trying to win. Those who become champions aren't trying to become champions. In their hearts and minds, they are champions. And they went out and did what they are. So go out and do. Don't try. Do. Here's the difference between someone who tries to lose weight and someone who trains their body is simply that. The person who's trying to lose weight is the person whose mindset, they haven't even made up their mind they actually are going to lose the weight, or that they have lost the weight. But the person who trains their body, they have already lost the weight here. As a man or woman thinks in their heart, thinks in their mind, so are they, and so do they become. If you see yourself as a failure, if you see yourself as a trier, if you see yourself based on past experiences, and they're negative, you're doomed to repeat it. I know about that. That's why I started this channel, because I know what it's like to be in the dumps. I know what it's like to have the information that I need to be successful, the tools, the mentorship, the guidance, the instruction, the example, and not do much of anything with it. That has hurt me to the core of my being. I want to keep that, and my goal is to really keep that before me. Not the pain so much in terms of me feeling down and out about myself, or beating myself up, or beating myself down. No, this is about me remembering what it feels like not to accomplish what I was capable of, or what I am capable of, and helping other people to either avoid going here as much as possible. Some of that you're going to need on your journey, but as much as possible, help some people avoid those pitfalls. Help some people come out of them. Help rescue some people out of it, because I know the pain. You were taught better. You had the tools. Then there's some people out there who did not have the tools. They did not have the mentorship. So I hope to be a voice to those, someone or someone's who needs some motivation, some inspiration, some guidance, some tools. Why? We all need somebody. We weren't put here. I know, contrary to popular belief, we were not put here to be islands. We were all put here to contribute to life while we're here on this planet. So here's a key takeaway for you in that point number 2. Winners don't try. They train with purpose. If you don't have an end in mind, as my dad says, begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Don't just set out to do something. Know what it is you want, when you want it. Be flexible on the timeline or the date, but know what you want, set a course, and get to stepping. Small steps, big steps. It is going to require both types of steps. There are small steps and there are big steps. Take them. Now let's get to point number 3. Take non-negotiable action. That is, decide, like I just said, decide what you want to be, do, and have, and then execute. Clarity and decision making matter more than effort. If you don't know what it is you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have, if you're not clear on that, then no matter the amount of effort you put into something, it's not going to matter. It will be a lot of waste. You will be frustrated. You will be discouraged. You will come away disappointed, if not angry, and just upset. So be clear first. Then decide to take action based on that aim, that vision, that target. You know, Thomas Edison didn't try to invent the light bulb. He decided that he would until he did. So he went through what they said, 10,000 attempts. And you know, he didn't see those as failures. He just said, I simply discovered. Somebody questioned him about it. You failed 10,000 times. No, he said, no, I just found out 10,000 ways that the light bulb would work. So he kept working until he came to the solution. Why? He had it in his mind. He knew what he wanted and what he was working towards. That's what guided his actions, his behavior. One of the things we need to do if we want to be successful, and this is an option, shift from I'll try to here's my strategy. My goal is to post a video every Monday. Every Monday. Last week I missed it. For that, I do apologize. For those of you who were looking, I do apologize for missing that. Yes, I have several things going on. I'm a one-man operation. Those are not excuses. I'm just being transparent with you. And so I have to continually be intentional, making sure I have these videos ready up. So I have to set days until I get to a place where I can do this live, which that's one of the things I'm looking forward to doing in the near future. While I do these live, I have to set these videos up to record, have them previously recorded, so I can end up set on YouTube to show up or to post at a certain time. But in the meantime, my goal is to stay intentional, to be disciplined. This is a part of my strategy, a video a week right now on Mondays. Why? And why do I do it on Mondays? Because many people dread Mondays. They see Mondays as blue. Well, I want to help you see it as green. Green for gold, green for making money, green for being successful, but green for go. Go into the week and let's be successful in whatever good that you're supposed to be doing. Here's key takeaway for point number 3. Success follows execution, not effort alone. If you're putting out a lot of effort, but you're not getting the right things done, then that effort again is a waste. If you're entrusted, and I've been entrusted with some things to do, some assignments that I need to get done, some projects, things I've entrusted to myself to get done, but also others are dependent on me to do my part. Putting in the effort to get the job done versus getting the job done can be two different things. So I have to execute the right things while putting out the effort. Okay? That's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do. This is how the successful people based on their religion, based on their relationships, based on their finances, their careers, based on research, studies, whatever. People who are successful at various levels across many different categories, or all categories, they simply apply these strategies. These are principles. All of us apply in one time or another. We just have to be more intentional, especially if you have not been intentional about that. So, point number 4. Let's measure progress, not perfection. I am a perfectionist. I need to stop saying it too, but I'm going to say this for this video, then I'm going to stop saying it. I am a perfectionist at heart. Why? I prefer perfection because, generally speaking, people do not care, generally, why you made a mistake or a bad decision. They care that you did it. That's what my experience has taught me. People, generally speaking, do not care why you made a mistake or a bad decision. They care that you did it. Now, yet, do you have people who have been more gracious than others? And again, I'm not saying that those decisions aren't costly. Certain reactions happen because of the decision. We get back certain reactions because of whatever that decision or mistake was. I get it. But generally speaking, I've learned that people don't really care why you made it. They care that you did make it. So for me, I was like, okay, my goal is not to make mistakes. Well, guess what happened? I focused so hard on not making mistakes, I made more. Because what you focus on, you attract, or you gravitate towards, and it gravitates towards you. So I'm actually still learning. Stop focusing on being perfect and just focus on what? Measuring my progress. Being the best I can be at that moment. Succeeding whatever I put my hands to at that time. If that work happens to be perfect, great. If not, learn from it. I have to be gracious with myself. Because that did hurt a lot. It hurt some of my relationships and all that type of stuff. So that's one of the things that really hurt me the most. All right. Success isn't about a single moment. It's a process of adjustments and persistence. That's why we shouldn't focus on perfection in this life. Again, success isn't a single moment. I'm successful right now. Nope. You may have actually, it's a compilation of many steps along a process or on a journey. It's a process of adjustments and persistence. Everything's not gonna go according to plan. So you have to be adjustable. That's what my dad says all the time. He says, make the adjustment, make the adjustment, make the adjustment. Really make the adjustment too. Don't just say it, do it. Don't try, do it. And be persistent about it. Don't quit. When you're on the right path, okay? Don't quit. Keep going, see it through. Small wins build confidence and momentum. You need to recognize those small wins and congratulate yourself, especially if you're not used to doing it or not used to seeing that type of success. Celebrate the small wins. They're going to build your confidence. They're going to build momentum. You're going to want to do things. Note that, hey man, I just cut the oil yesterday. Good job, boy. Tell yourself, hey, good job. That's not the arrogance or pride. You could turn it to arrogance or pride, but don't let it become that. Boy, that's good work, Darius. That was good. Darius, you did that video. That was really good video work you did. You got some more areas for improvement, but you did a good job. Darius, you said you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. I know your heart's in the right place, but you should take your time, Darius. Take your time. Think before you speak. Don't catch yourself on that moment. I know there are times, Darius, you do. So you got to talk. Sometimes it's best for you to talk to yourself in an encouraging way. You already beat yourself up. You already beat yourself down. You already cuss yourself out. So since you talk to yourself, why don't you be constructive in your language or in your communication towards yourself? Stop waiting for other people. You do it. You initiate that change. Start encouraging and patting yourself on the back and lovingly, constructively, and sometimes sternly speaking to yourself. Darius, you got to get that together. That's enough of this. Yes, I talk to myself about these things. I do. I encourage you to do the same. It's really empowering. If you do it right and you do it consistently, it's very empowering. Do y'all know that the Wright brothers, these are the guys who invented the planes, right? Do y'all know that the Wright brothers didn't try to fly? They committed to continuous improvement until they succeeded. You want to fly in life? You want to go from level to level, climb up the ladder? Don't try. Get it done. Adjust. Be persistent. Be committed. Be consistent. The principles are perfect because I know the Creator made it that way. So if something's working better, seemingly works better for others than to do it for you, I guarantee you it starts here first. Forget back, stop. Don't even focus on, well, they grew up better than me. They grew up in a different background than I had. All of that may be true, but they think differently than you do. So instead of trying to compete against them, instead of complaining against them or about them, why don't you Learn from them. If you can't do it directly, buy a book, watch a video, listen to some audio, and follow the steps they use, the steps they use, and do it consistently. Hold yourself to a higher level or higher standard than you have before. Lastly, the key takeaway for you is this. Focus. Remember, I just told you I focused on not making mistakes and I kept making more. So I had to shift my focus, and I'm still shifting my focus. Focus on the progress and the results will follow. You know what results you want, right? Yes. Okay. Now focus on the process, the steps that you must take, the strategy you created or somebody may have helped create for you. Focus on doing those things and you will get to your results. Sometimes sooner, sometimes later. But you will arrive if you stay on that path. If you deviate, let me say this. If you deviate, find your way back to the path and begin again or continue down that path. Listen, thank y'all for joining me today. I hope you have a great day today. I hope you have a great week. And remember this, maximize the moment. I'll see y'all next week.